Yeah, man. Jimmy Butler is absolutely correct, man. And I don't care. You can go pull up your basketball reference page, go pull up your stat page, go pull up all your notes. Jimmy Butler is a top 10 NBA player. Like, I don't care what anybody says. We talking about you put Jimmy Butler as the best player on your team will have a chance to at least make the playoffs. You put Jimmy on the Sacramento Kings, the Kings are a playoff team. On the Detroit Pistons, the Pistons are a playoff team. If you remember when Derrick Rose started going through his knee problems, Jimmy Butler took over the team as the best player. And the Bulls were title contenders. You know, they couldn't beat LeBron, but there's no shame in that. Then he goes to Minnesota. They immediately make the playoffs with Jimmy Butler. Then Jimmy Butler goes to the 76ers. It took a miracle Kawhi Leonard shot to put them out the playoffs. My main issue here is with Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris is the main issue. This guy is one of the most overpaid players in the entire NBA. But he never gets criticized at all. Now, I'm no 76ers fan, but if I was a 76ers fan, I would be putting this guy on blast all the time. I mean, this is not the same Tobias Harris that was with the Clippers. And it seems like nobody cares. Everybody's focused on James Harden. Okay, James Harden is not the same player. But what about Tobias Harris? What is his excuse? Tobias Harris is a guy who's going to make $35 million next year, $37 million the following year, and then $39 million the following year after that. But I bet you this guy will not get no criticism. I guarantee you nobody will criticize Tobias Harris. The media won't slander him or nothing. But James Harden, the way he's getting crucified in the media, it's not fair, to be honest with you. Because one thing people have to take into account is James Harden numbers did get inflated by the fact that he was playing under Mike D'Antoni. Like, let's not forget that when James Harden first went to the Houston Rockets when he was playing under Kevin McHale, he wasn't the guy that he was under D'Antoni. Under D'Antoni, this guy was, just a machine. Under McHale, he wasn't a machine. He was more of a traditional two guard. People got to realize that. People got to realize maybe his numbers were inflated. Maybe he was never that guy in the first place. Mike D'Antoni has a track record of boosting guys' stats. Let's be real. Now, I'm not saying James Harden was a scrubber for D'Antoni. Like, he still was a great player, all NBA caliber. But he wasn't MVP caliber under Kevin McHale. He became MVP caliber under Mike D'Antoni. The same way Steve Nash became MVP caliber under Mike D'Antoni. Nash was no MVP caliber player in Dallas. He was an all-star, all-NBA. He was no MVP. Gets under Mike D'Antoni, becomes MVP. But what is Tobias Harris' excuse? And I thought Jimmy Butler did the right thing by calling him out because maybe this will put more eyes on Tobias Harris because this guy flies under the radar. But don't get mad at the facts, though.